My name's Louise Stokes. I've been abused. My name's Louise Stokes. I've been abused. I was born in Somerset. I grew up in Shropshire. In 1980, I went to Durham University to do my joint honours BA in philosophy and politics. When I finished my degree and left university, I spent a year of not knowing what I wanted to do, until in 1984 I thought I'd found my vocation and I went into nursing. And as far as I was aware and intended, that was going to be my job forever. I would be a nurse for the whole of my career. After I had my youngest child and went back to work, within a few weeks that all started to change. When people talk about abuse, they form all sorts of pictures and ideas of what that means and what it entails. But I think rarely do they think of bullying as abuse. And if they do think of bullying, then it often perhaps think of playground bullying, children bullying other children. It rarely occurs to people that adults bullying other adults is a very, very malicious form of abuse. I began to feel more and more stressed about work, about going to work, without really knowing why. I'd be thinking about it and preoccupied with work when I was at home. I'd got 4 young children, including the youngest was a baby. The bullies, there was about 4 of them, with one main antagonist who took directions from the most senior, were, I'm ashamed to say, seeing as I am a woman myself, were all women. To this day, I sometimes does leave me just speechless to think that women can behave in that way. And it's coloured my relationships with women ever since. At first, it was little things. My immediate line manager, who was a man and not involved in the bullying, would take me aside for private chats. He suggested that I might want to remove my jewellery, even though everyone on the unit wore the odd chain, rings, earrings. It was a children's unit. We were supposed to be approachable and human, so as long as the way that we dressed and looked was safe, we just dressed naturally. There wasn't a uniform, and it was fairly relaxed. But he told me that I would have to remove my jewellery, or suggested that I did, although nobody else on the unit would have to, because the manager who was beginning to start the bullying would find fault with that, and it would give her more ammunition. I took off all my jewellery, and that wasn't enough. I actually wasn't allowed to wear my wedding ring, my engagement ring. I had to remove all my jewellery. Maybe that's why I've got more piercings now, because once I did find escape from there weren't those constraints on me. Then my hair on the unit, we had our hair how we wanted. There were men with long hair, and it was left loose, and that was fine. People had short hair, long hair, dyed hair, curly hair, straight hair. But mine had to change. I was told that, advised by my line manager, that if I didn't tie it all back, then I would probably be bullied for that. So I tied it back, but that wasn't good enough. It had to be so tied back that not like not a single hair could be seen, and my hair is very difficult to tie back at the best of times. So I found that I was getting up in the morning an hour earlier just so that I could tie my hair back so that she couldn't pick on me for that. Then it was suggested to me that the way I dressed, which was jeans and t-shirt like everybody else on the unit, might be considered inappropriate, and that I needed to consider the way I dressed as well. So I asked advice about what that might mean, and my manager suggested that I maybe needed to try and sort of model myself a bit more on the bully. One of my children, who was only 7 at the time of the bullying, told me months later that at the height of the bullying, because of the threats, he probably had overheard me talking to my husband about my distress, and because I was aware that these women would stop at nothing, that he thought that they were going to lie about me and send me to prison. He was only 7, so to him these were very real and possible things. The fear of that went away, to be replaced by the fact that in my darkest days, when for a while I did just sit on the settee for long periods of time, crying or doing nothing, that he thought that I was going to die.